is 2 black dots or -2. So 3 minus 5 is -2. So this answer is -2. 3 plus -5. These two are the same. 3 minus 5 and 3 plus a -5. Those are exactly the same. They will give you the same answer. Alright, so that's switching. And let me go with the example of a negative number now. And I mean a negative number. Here, I'll just go ahead and explain. Example 5. So I will do, say, -7 minus a 3. Well, we've just gone over switching, so I will rewrite this as -7. So then I have a -3. I have -7 here and -3 here, so that means I will go ahead and put 7 black dots down, and then I'm adding that to 3 black dots. 7 and 3, well, that's easy enough. That's just 10 black dots or -10. And that is my answer. -7 added to -3 is just -10. And the dots have given me exactly the right answer. So looks like we're moving along rather well. There are a couple more situations that or at least I need to explain. So we'll go ahead and do that. The next one I'll call example 6. It's also a subtraction problem. If we have, let's do 3 minus, now we're subtracting a negative number. We are now going to subtract a negative number. So let's go ahead and put 6 minus a -2. Okay, so 6 minus a -2. Alright, that may seem very strange, but in the world of math, it's perfectly allowed. You can subtract a negative number, just as you can add a negative number. Okay. With these two negative signs, when you subtract a negative, those two negatives turn into two positives. This negative turns into a positive, and this negative turns into a positive. So for anytime you see two negatives, you can automatically switch them to two positives. Okay, so we have 6, +6, and then added to +2. This is something you guys have been doing since first grade and second grade and on and on. So it doesn't get easier than this. 6 white dots. 6 white dots added to 2 white dots. That's easy enough. That is 8 white dots, which the answer is +8. There's one more option, and I'm going to label this example 7, and it looks like I'm running out of room here. I didn't expect to use this much space, but hopefully you can bear with me. Example 7, instead of this number being positive, we're going to assume, well, we're going to go ahead and do a negative number. So negative 4 minus a negative 5. And that's a whole bunch of negatives. I can still take those two negatives and turn them into two positives. And I'll pick a better color this time. Okay. Those two negatives turn into two positives. And I can rewrite this as negative 4 plus 5. Let me use my dots. I have negative 4, so that is 4 black dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is positive 5. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white dots. Let's cancel each other out, these dots. So for every black, I cancel a white. For every white, I cancel a black. And I keep going until I find my answer. And the answer is 1 white dot, 1 white dot. So that is plus 1. I believe I've gone over every possible way of adding and subtracting. So let's go ahead and recap. We have our number line, which can tell us where we go. But in addition to that, we have dots. And we know that a black and a white dot can cancel out. So if we have a negative being added to a positive, we can just cancel 1 for 1 and get our answer. Example 3, we talk about two negative numbers being added, which just makes a bigger negative number. Okay. But still, I recommend use your dots so that until you're absolutely comfortable, use those dots. If you try to get past using the dots, unfortunately, if you're not ready, it'll show. You'll be getting wrong answers, and I've seen it before. So really, try to use the dots as much as possible till you don't need it anymore. These are your training wheels. So I highly recommend using it until you don't need it anymore. But really, use them as much as possible. Okay. The next option was, if I'm subtracting two numbers, I can switch the signs. Same thing in example 5. I am switching these signs. So that way let's go ahead and go back here. I'm switching them. So that way I'm turning this into an addition problem so that I can then use my dots, because dots can only be used in addition. Example 6, I have two negative signs which turn into two positive signs. And example 7 is the same thing. Two negative signs turn into two positive signs. And this time I had a negative number, and we just use the dots just as normal. So really, when we're subtracting, you could either switch the signs, or if there's two negatives, you just turn them into two positives. Those are the only exceptions to this. So you can change every integer addition, or change every integer subtraction problem into an addition problem. So that way you can use your dots.